Another day, another Xbox game has been cancelled as Contraband is no longer in development. Let's talk about it. Hello there everybody and welcome to The Comfy Spot. My name is Tyler and today we are going to be talking about this somewhat surprising but also kind of not too surprising news that Contraband, the long in development Xbox exclusive coming from Avalanche Studios, has officially been cancelled. It is no longer in development. This news came today by way of a Bloomberg article from none other than Jason Schreier, in which he revealed, as per their sources, that the game was being canceled by Xbox. And then over on Avalanche's website, they themselves kind of confirmed this news as well. On their website, they put up a post saying, over the past several years, Avalanche Studios Group and Xbox Game Studios Publishing have collaborated on Contraband. Active development has now stopped while we evaluate the project's future. We're thankful for the excitement we've seen from the community since we announced, and we'll give an update on what's next as soon as we can. Now, for those who do not remember Contraband, this was meant to be a co-op multiplayer sort of smuggling game, as they describe it on their website. Welcome to Contraband, a co-op smuggler's paradise set in the fictional world of 1970s Bayonne. This game was being made, as I said, by Avalanche Studios, who are the developers behind the Just Cause series. And this game was announced a while ago. I believe it was announced in 2021 with a really vague CG teaser that just kind of saw the camera pan around like this barn. It was meant to be like, I guess, reminiscent or meant to be the team's base of operations. And the cameras panned around, so you saw like their plans for whatever they were going to be planning to do, like whatever the team was going to be smuggling out and stuff. And that was really it. We heard nothing about the game in the years since. So getting this news today, it's not that surprising given all that context, that we've heard nothing, that we have gotten no update on the game since it was first announced in 2021. I mean, if we were going to get an update at any point in time, I would have expected it maybe 2023, definitely last year, 2024. And after 2023 came and went, we heard nothing about it. I expected very little last year. And after we got nothing last year, I was like, ayo, it's probably canceled. This game is probably not seeing the light of day. And if it does, we'll just see it when we see it. Somewhat similar to Everwild, which also got canceled last month, I believe, in July. If not July, it was in June when that got canceled. When, again, another game where announced a very, very, very long time ago. Only got 2 trailers for it. Basically no updates on it at all. No substantial updates. Earlier in the year, there was the update that, yeah, Phil Spencer had played it. I believe it was Phil Spencer who had played it and said that the game's coming along well. And the next thing we know, it's getting canceled again. One that was surprising because it was coming from Rare and was canceled, but also not that surprising considering that for the longest time, the team wasn't sure even what that game was going to be, what that game was actually going to play like and look like. So when it comes to Contraband, I am somewhat surprised, but at the same time, I'm not surprised that the game is canceled. Avalanche's statement about, that they're looking for, they're evaluating the project's future, does leave the door open a bit for them to possibly maybe partner with a different company to publish the game and continue working on it. But I think the chances of that happening are very slim to none. This is it's an unfortunate situation. I want to say that up front. It's always, in my opinion, I think it's always unfortunate when a game that has been announced for a while is just eventually announced to end up being canceled. That's years and years and years of hard work and time and money just flushed down the toilet, thrown away for whatever reason, whatever the case may be that mismanagement of some sort, be that overscoping, just having crazy huge ambitions and not being able to make it work out. Whatever the reason, it's unfortunate when games like this just end up getting canceled after such a long time of development. And I really do hope that there are no negative blowbacks on Avalanche Studios, the team itself, as a result of this cancellation. I hope that there are no layoffs. I hope that there aren't any studio closures. I doubt that the studio is going to close or anything, but I really hope that there aren't any major layoffs or any layoffs at all at the team because of this cancellation. I hope that they are able to, if they're not able to make Contraband work with some other team, with some other company, I hope that they're able to pivot over to another project relatively quickly, relatively seamlessly, relatively painlessly, above all else. Because I do like Avalanche Studios. Just Cause 2, one of my favorite games of all time. Just Cause 3, another great game. Just Cause 4, not too hot on that one. But I do love the franchise. I would love to see a return if they do decide to pivot back to it. And there's just two other things I want to say about this. Contraband, when it was first announced, I kind of thought, okay, cool, co-op game, whatever. Didn't think too much of it. But now, in hindsight, thinking again about what the game was supposed to be when it was announced, I wonder if this game was maybe initially planned to be like just a regular co-op multiplayer game, or if it was always intended to be maybe like a live service game, or it evolved into a live service game of some sort, and they were just trying to see what they can do to make that work, as the live service space in the games industry has just continued to evolve and evolve to the point where all new live service games is really a giant gamble as to whether or not you're going to be a hit or sink your studio entirely. I wonder if that's what this game actually was, if it was going to be a co-op live service game, and Avalanche eventually they weren't able to make it work. And if they're the ones who said to Microsoft, we can't do this, or if Microsoft looked at it and said, you know what, we're cutting the cord on this, it is what it is. I feel like it's more so the latter, that Microsoft decided at this point in time, we're going to stop funding the game, we're done working on this one. Because I feel like if Avalanche were the ones who made the decision, then we wouldn't have gotten the message that we did. I feel like this is more of a Microsoft Xbox decision themselves, which goes back to another point I want to mention, that being that, and I didn't talk about this when it happened a few months ago. I wanted to, but just did not get a chance to. That being just the amount of cancellations that we've been hearing out of Microsoft in the past few months. Between Perfect Dark, which is a wild cancellation, just absolutely wild to hear that game got canceled, and its studio, The Initiative, shut down before that, without even being able to make a game. Absolutely wild. Between Everwild being canceled from Rare, between the in development MMO codenamed Blackbird that was being developed by ZeniMax Online, that being canceled, but with the rumors that Turn 10, the developers behind Forza Motorsport, but the rumors that team basically suffered major layoffs, and now Forza Motorsport is essentially going to be a non-essential franchise, and Forza Horizon is going to be the key one that Turn 10 just plays a hand in. To be fair, as of today, August 7th, Turn 10 has put out a new update addressing the future of the team and the Motorsport series. Have not gotten around to reading it, but just want to mention that. And also, again, just context for everything. Between all that news there, the fact that Fable has been in development for so long, and we've gotten basically very few rare substantial updates on that game itself, although it's still supposed to come out next year apparently. Who knows if that actually happens. State of Decay 3, which has been in development also for a long time, facing its own share of development troubles, finally got an update on it last year in the form of an in-engine trailer, which, take your pick as to whether or not you feel like it was actually representative of real gameplay. There's just so much going on at Xbox behind the scenes when it comes to in-development projects, canceled projects, that, this latest one, even as expected as it was and as unsurprising as it is, it still just rings, it just feels so wrong, feels so bad, and it makes me just, concerned about Xbox and their game output going forward. To be clear, I'm not saying that, Doom, I'm not trying to be a doomsayer here. I'm not trying to raise white flags for Xbox or anything. I'm not trying to do that, so please do not get me wrong. But it is just a thing where it's like, man, this is just yet another domino to fall, another chip on the table, or whatever the case may be. It's another chink in their armor, where it's just like, what is going on at Xbox, at Microsoft, where we're just getting more and more cancellations, more non-speak from teams over there. It is just, again, concerning. It's just concerning. It is interesting. It is worrying, especially for a company like Microsoft/Xbox, where the Xbox team and the Xbox brand is going through many interesting changes right now. And, you know, in comparison to the rest of the industry, and of course their direct competitor, PlayStation, which PlayStation themselves, they're going through changes as well. But when PlayStation has just announced that they have sold 80 million PlayStation 5s worldwide, and you know for a fact that Xbox is nowhere near that number, and, you know, they're doing the whole multi-platform thing, which I definitely feel like is the future of the industry as a whole going forward. It just feels bad. It just feels bad. It just feels sad to see yet another game, a game that was supposed to be, you know, an Xbox first party, you know, title to add to their staple titles there, to their first party library. Another one that is no longer a thing. What more is there to look forward to from Xbox, from their first party staple, from their Xbox Game Studio publishing side of things? But also, again, it makes you wonder, like, why should anyone get excited about games that Xbox announces? They are notorious. They've been notorious for announcing games way too early, way too early, which they have tried to dial back in recent years, and I definitely commend them for that. But it's still, even with that aside, it still begs the question, like, man, like, why should I be excited about any game you've announced in the past couple years, or any game going forward that you announced, if, you know, I might not see it again for 3-4 years, if at all? Or I could see gameplay for it 2 years after you announce it, but then you will cancel the game shortly after that, a few years later. It is just very disheartening because of the track record that Xbox has shown. And again, I want to be clear, you know, I don't want to come off as being fanboyish or console wars. That's not me at all in any way, shape, or form. This is just thoughts I'm having about this whole situation in light of Contraband being canceled. It is a shame. You know, I'm not saying that I was excited for the game when I knew nothing about it. We knew nothing about what this game was. There was nothing to be excited about other than the fact that, oh, Avalanche Studios, the Just Cause developers, are making a co-op game. That could be fun. But beyond that, I wasn't excited about Contraband. I did want to see what the game would have been. It's a shame it didn't work out. For whatever reason, it did not work out. I'm just really hoping that, you know, from here, that Microsoft and Xbox can start to bounce back with games that have been long in development and games that they announce going forward. So, most notably, Fable. We need Fable. We need to see just like actual raw gameplay of Fable, and then that game needs to release and be a good game. Starfield, whatever the future of that series is, we just need to feel confident in that. We need to feel confidence in Gears and Halo and Forza, your trifecta right there. Clockwork Revolution definitely seems like it's coming out. I have no worries about that after the lengthy gameplay reveal that we got at this summer's Xbox Game Showcase. But again, just Xbox, Microsoft, I just really hope that things are able to just reset, in a sense, things get back on track in a good place, in a good space, and we could be getting some good games out of the company. Because, you know, I do like Xbox's games, I do like the teams that are over there, and they deserve to thrive. They deserve to be able to make some great stuff, whether it be their in-house first-party studios or teams that they partner with outside of their first-party staple, like they were here with Avalanche Studios. So those are my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you feel about this news that Contraband has been canceled? Are you disappointed like I am for the bigger picture side of things? Are you just kind of indifferent on it? Were you looking forward to the game? Let's talk about it down in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell, that way you know as soon as new videos go live. My name is Tyler, this has been The Comfy Spot, and we'll talk next time. Have a good one.